Howdy folks, this is Turtle, and welcome back to TEW 2016. We are in the second week, we're heading into Sold Out, which I believe is Sunday of the third week, so we've got 3 more shows after this before the big event. I've booked about 19 segments along with some pre-show stuff, so let's run the show. Okay, in an abysmal pre-show match, Jim Duggan defeated Frankie Kazarian at 5:06 by pinfall with a running clothesline tackle. This is Frankie Kazarian's debut, mostly known for his time in TNA. He was in WWE for a little while. He was on Velocity before he bailed. Frankie Kazarian with a 9. That's not good. But he'll probably improve. His scores are more weighted on popularity than performance anyway. In a decent pre-show match, Scott Steiner defeated Guerrero in 8:09 by submission. So yeah, just getting some momentum to Scott Steiner. I'm not sure what to do with him quite yet. I may turn him face because there's way too many heels on this roster. So yeah, 77 for Scott Steiner. Woohoo. Opening segment, Mean Gene is in the ring. He calls Ric Flair. It's one of those where Mean Gene's in the ring with a wrestler or whatever. Ric Flair, he cuts a promo. He's talking about Kevin Nash and how he wormed his way into the world title match, and he wants to add another world title to his credentials. Backstage with Powers That Be and Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper is talking with Powers That Be, and Powers That Be decides to cut Piper and Funk a deal. If Ric Flair can defeat Mang tonight in the main event, then he will be in the world title match at Sold Out versus Kevin Nash. He will compete against Kevin Nash for the vacant WCW world title. In a terrible match, the artist formerly known as Prince Iake defeated Kanyon in 5:32 by pinfall with a fast roll-up. We had Hoovy run in and attack Kanyon. This is sort of Hoovy getting back at Canyon's comments last week. I hate the juice. The juice got the champagne, huh? Okay. Meanwhile, backstage with the Powers That Be, Powers That Be is yelling at Medusa, basically saying that David Flair has been more on edge lately and is disturbing the rest of the locker room because Medusa called out David Flair because he's been handed all his titles. That may be true, but that's sort of disturbing a bit, so you will have to defend your Cruiserweight title against David Flair in a title for title match. After that, we have Hart cutting a promo on Benoit. Bret Hart basically says, well, it's true that I am a fellow Canadian, but see, I see my value while you don't. You undersell yourself while I see my value. I left the World Wrestling Federation because they could not give me the money that I deserved, and WCW can't. So I left for WCW because they could pay me well enough. Okay, so in a terrible match, David Flair defeated Medusa in 4:32 by pinfall. When Daphne ran in and attacked Medusa, David Flair wins the Cruiserweight title. Okay, so Medusa could not fight for the television gender restrictions, that's fine. So I tried to change up the product a bit so that Medusa could wrestle, but as you can see right here, the fans came to see male competitors, and Ted Turner would not allow me to change from no women's wrestling to integrated. So I put the Cruiserweight title on someone else. I just decided to have it be David Flair, because why not? He's a heel, he's in the weight class. He may just be a transitional champ. I'm not entirely sure yet. We shall see. And then David Flair, Crowbar, and Daphne celebrate. In a bout that had subpar wrestling, little heat, Dustin Rhodes defeated Buzzkill in a short match with a bulldog. So yeah, just giving Dustin Rhodes some momentum. Not sure what my plans are for Dustin Rhodes quite yet, but who knows. Powers that be are backstage with Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett's in his office. Basically, Jarrett has to defend his United States title tonight by order of the board of directors. Jarrett has yet to defend it, so he's going to defend it against Eddie Guerrero tonight. Eddie Guerrero has gotten the news that he's up for a U.S. title shot, and he's cutting a promo about that. Basically saying that he will do his absolute best to dethrone Jeff Jarrett. Match itself. In a decent match, Jeff Jarrett defeated Eddie Guerrero in 8:02 by submission after blatantly cheating. So yeah, decent performances by these guys. Ignore this. So Jeff Jarrett is beating down Eddie Guerrero after the match, and then Booker T comes in for the save. And about that, at subpar wrestling, a little heat. Vampiro drew with Big Tony Johnson in 5:04 following a double countout. This is just a continuation of that feud. It's probably going to end up in some type of specialty match. I don't know yet. But yeah, Vampiro with a 49, Big Tony Johnson with a 41. Mang is shown sitting backstage getting ready. The typical Filthy Animals pre-match stuff. Conan does his spiel. Ray and Kidman are there. Tori's rated on sex appeal. Gets a 53. And about that, at subpar wrestling, a little heat. Creative Control defeated the Filthy Animals. That's Ray and Kidman. In 6:35, when Rey Mysterio was counted out while fighting Gerald. During the match, we also saw Dean Malenko and Barry Saturn attack Kidman. So yeah, continuing the tag title feud. Kevin Nash just talking crap about Ric Flair. Nothing new there. In a decent match, I wish they would have done better. Ric Flair defeated Mang in 10:54 by pinfall with a fast roll-up. And Ric Flair celebrates, and that's the end of the show. 61. General feeling is that WCW don't have enough interesting storylines going on. Increased popular in 18, lost us in 11. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure stuff out, but I don't know. So, yeah, that's the end of this. So, yeah, like, subscribe, comment, and the like, and I'll see you next time.